What's going on, guys? Matt in a hat, Matt Johnson Real Estate, powered by Keller Diamond Partners. You are tuned into the hot list on this Red Friday. Today is Friday, June 19th. And as you guys know, I come to you Monday through Friday around 12 o'clock Central Standard Time. And we talk about a house that is new to the market, been on the market, had a recent price reduction, or something unique about the property that I want to share with you guys and want you guys to know. Also, we have a sponsor of the week each and every week again. And for those current sponsors and previous sponsors, thank you guys so much for sponsoring the show and what you guys do. This week's sponsor of the week is no different, and that is Brown's Shoe Fit. And I've talked about them all week. I can't say enough good things about the company and about the people that work there. And I figured I would wrap this week up with my latest pair of socks, which are my bicycle socks. So if you guys have any questions, just a side note on the socks, they do have some wool socks there at Brown's. Very, very cool, and definitely worth checking out. That's where I buy my socks. I bought multiple pairs of shoes there. I have 2 pairs of Twisted X that I bought there. I have some steel toe boots that I bought there. So they go above and beyond with everything that they do, and that is why they are this week's sponsor of the week. And also, we talk about a question of the day that is submitted by you, the viewer. And this question of the day is not a question that I've had before, and had to do a little bit of legwork, a little bit of research, as well as talking to people that own pools. Before we get into that, let's talk about the property that we're highlighting today. The address is 1595 Road W in Neosho Rapids, Kansas. That's just right down the road from here. It's a 3-bed, 3-bath. It does have an attached 2-car garage. It's got 2,912 square feet finished space. Currently listed at $298,000, courtesy of Tri-County Real Estate. Now, what I love about this property, number one, it sits on 10 acres. Number two, it has the availability for an additional 70 acres. Right? How cool is that? It's got the master is on the main floor. It's got a main floor laundry, so that definitely helps. What I like about the kitchen, it has a kitchen dining room combo with a breakfast bar in there. So just quick in the morning, just need to grab something quick, sit, go. They got you covered. And it's got a sunroom on the back as well. It's got a full basement that is unfinished, and it's got a 40 by 60 shop in it. So make sure you guys click on the link in the description below, and it will take you to my website where you can see pictures of this for yourself and take a look at this property, because it is beautiful property, absolutely amazing, because acreage is hard to come by. This has 10 acres. It comes with the current price. There are an additional 70 acres that you could be looking at as well. And of course, the question of the day: will a pool increase my home's value? Now, this one, like I mentioned when we got started, this is not a question that I've had before. So this took a little doing, little research, a little legwork, because I know, like myself, many of us have thought about it, considered it, maybe even wondered what it would be like to have a pool, because on them hot summer days, especially with summer just a few weeks away, why not have a pool, right? Maybe it's something you've considered for years, maybe just because of how hot it was last year. That heat just got to you, and you want somewhere closer or private to cool off that, isn't your isn't your local rec center, your local YMCA, or your, like what we have here in town, that's just the local pool. So keep in mind that a pool is hard to undo. So we're going to talk about 5 things that you need to know about pool installation and ownership. I have not owned a pool. I have not had a pool. I have no desire to install a pool. So a lot of these are going to be from doing research, talking, like my neighbor right across the street. They have an in-ground pool. I've got neighbors across the street that have an above-ground pool. So there's a couple in this area, and I did go and talk to them. So number one, pool installation is awful. While pools are very, very cool, just keep in mind when going through this, it's better to go through this with your eyes open, kind of knowing what you're going to get into and what to expect. Because for my urban suburban friends, our areas are measured in square foot with our lots. They are not measured in acres. What does that have to do with anything? Simple. Your yard, your backyard, is going to be absolutely destroyed with an installation of an in-ground pool. So keep that in mind, number one. Number two is during construction, if you have pets and they need to go outside, this actually may require you to put on pants. Because your backyard's going to be torn up, it's going to be muddy, it's going to be a mess, and to get the equipment in and out, they're going to have to remove part of your fence or your whole fence. So your mission, should you choose to accept it, is deal with it, handle the stress that is induced by pool installation. If not, I would recommend checking out your local gym, rec center, YMCA, or school. So here in town, we've got a rec center that has a pool, and our local college and high school have pools as well. So all you got to do is just show up there, pay a little bit. They take care of everything else, and then you're just hands off. You got to leave. Simple, right? Number two, you don't want to take a bath with a pool. No, not in a pool, because of a pool. So this is going to tie back to how much will this increase my home's value. Let's consider a few things first. What kind of pool are you looking into? In ground, above ground? What type of neighborhood do you live in? Are there many homes in your area, in your neighborhood, that already have pools there? How long do you plan on living in that current house? Do you plan on relocating anytime soon? What kind of equipment will you be installing? All of this is going to come into play and have an effect on that original question: how much will a pool increase my home's value? So again, you don't want to take a bath and be upside down in your pool. That's why it's a loaded question. It's very difficult to answer if this will increase your value, because this can attract as well as terrify buyers because of the pool. So a lot of the buyers with pools are going to be middle to lower upper price ranges, okay? So if they don't have small children, maybe they're looking at it for, a little escape, a little getaway to relax, or maybe even use it for physical therapy and, physical health. Whereas a family that has small children, this may be the only red flag when looking at your property. That may be the only red flag they see, is just that it has a pool. They love everything else about the house, except they have small kids and pets, and they just don't want to get into a pool. Number three is going to be ask permission, not forgiveness, from your homeowners association. Now, more often than not, this is just human nature. We ask for forgiveness, not permission. I'm guilty of this as well, especially being married. And I'm not saying that you are, but you probably are. So just saying. So the issue is, many of the neighborhoods now have an HOA present in them. So if they don't like what you're doing, what's going to happen? You're going to end up with a big ass muddy hole. So find out if they allow pools. Just because your neighbor has a pool doesn't mean that you're going to be able to have a pool as well, because the rules may have changed. Maybe they have done an amendment or an addendum about people installing new pools. Maybe they have rules and regulations of how to install a pool and where you can actually install your pool. So make sure you get with your HOA and ask them for permission and give them the details before you just end up with a big hole in your yard. Number 4 things to consider before installing a pool: pools change your home buyer profile. Now, I just mentioned this previously, but it's worth repeating because installing a pool is not like, installing a garage or a fence. This changes the type of buyer that is going to be looking at your house. With a neighborhood that's made up, where a lot of them have pools, maybe they're not worried because there's not going to be a whole lot of small children or even pets running around, so it may be a non-issue. However, if your neighborhood, kind of like the one that I live in, for example, is starter homes, there's a bunch of small kids, close proximity to an elementary school or preschool, chances are they're going to be younger families that are looking to move into that area. So you gotta be careful, because this will change your home buyer profile. And finally, number 5, budget pool buying is worse than no pool at all. And I bring this up for a couple reasons. Number 1, my neighbor that had an above ground pool, this is his 3rd above ground pool, just because he bought what he wanted, not what he wanted, he just bought something to get him by, and he ended up having to replace it, obviously more than once, because like I said, I think this is at least his third above ground pool. Where my other neighbor that installed an in-ground pool, he did it the right way and went through everything and just was okay with writing that check, because this is a tough decision. So obviously you want to be aware and shop with budget in mind, but this can't be the driving factor behind you installing a pool, because no matter what happens, you are never going to be happy with the pool. You're just going to look at it and just be pissed off and disappointed every time you step outside. Because talking to my neighbor with the in-ground pool, he was telling me that they can start around 20 grand and go up from there. And pools, just like pets, children, spouses, can be needy, need ongoing care, ongoing maintenance. You guys know what I'm talking about. And they can require constant interaction so that they are properly functioning as far as cleaning the pH levels and just staying on top of it. So installing a pool is going to be much like buying a sports car. Let's say a Porsche 911, because if you're budget driven and that's the driving factor, then you're going to buy the cheapest thing on the market, and you're going to wonder why it's always in the shop, there's always something wrong with it, and it doesn't perform like you expected it to, because it's a Porsche. You expect it to perform like a Porsche, right? Not necessarily. So the cheapest isn't always the way to go. So with that, keep some priorities in mind. The purpose of your pool, is it going to be your oasis where you get away and relax? Is it going to be for physical fitness, entertaining, whatever the case may be? Where are you going to put it? Are you going to be limited by the size of your yard? So maybe it's going to be much smaller than you anticipated, and that's just not what you want to do. And make sure that you know what you're getting into as far as appropriate equipment to keep it running, to keep it functioning, to keep it clean. Because like I mentioned, buying the cheapest one just because you want it and you want a pool is only going to end in disappointment. So is this going to increase the value of your home by adding a pool? Honestly, I can't answer that, because some people are going to see that value in it. Some people will not. When my wife and I were looking to buy a home, we actually saw some houses and toured some houses that had pools there, and they were around the same prices as some of the houses that didn't have pools. We had no desire to have a pool because that's just one more thing. And at the time, Chase was so little, so young. That was just one more hazard that we were concerned with. So we just had no desire. So that's what I got for you guys today. If you guys have questions about keeping a pool maintained or clean, or maybe you've been thinking about pool installation for years, and now's the time. This is the year that you've decided you're going to pull the trigger. Reach out to me. You guys, I've told you guys before, I have access. I keep a running list of a 5-star vendor list of people that go above and beyond and just absolutely deliver and nail the service that they provide. So feel free to reach out to me. That's what I got for you guys today on the hot list. So thank you for watching. You guys have an awesome Friday. I'm going to see you guys on Monday. So thanks for watching with Matt in a Hat, Matt Johnson Real Estate, powered by Keller Diamond Partners. I do this because your experience matters and should be trusted with a veteran. Y'all have an awesome weekend. And again, I'll see you Monday.